We're currently flying through Division 1 towards the Elite Division in Rivals and finished 12-3 in Champs this weekend. I'm not a pro player, so that means the tactics must be decent. Let's have a look at the team. As you can see, it's a pretty good team. I wouldn't say it's a god squad by any means though, but I've been using this formation, well, a variation of the 4-4-2 for a while now. Since the start of the game actually, it's the only formation that has really clicked for me. You'll get the code to use these tactics, but I would say stay and watch to see what each player should be doing when you are using this formation. And if you want more content like this, of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let's get into it. So here is the custom tactics and the code if you want to use that. What I would say is just get familiar with how the custom tactics actually work, what sort of players you should be using, and those sorts of things. Because if you just copy a custom tactic and you don't really know what's going on, you're going to be a bit confused. So we've got the 4-4-2 holding formation here. I've got the build-up style set to balance. You could use balance or counter, but I find balance, I want the players to come short for passes sometimes, so that's why we're using balanced. I play quite an aggressive high line, which is why we've set the line height to 91, so you can manually adjust the line height by pressing triangle. I think that's Y on Xbox, I'm not too sure, apologies. But you see, as you go from 90, which is a high line, to 91, it moves to aggressive. That does have an impact on stamina, so you're going to want to watch that. But I really like playing with an aggressive defense, and I find the press on this game this year is kind of crazy. When teams are pressing you, it's really hard to get out. So yeah, that's why I've chosen to go with an aggressive high line with the line height set at 91. Let's get on to player roles now, and in case you didn't know, you can see what the team looks like with the ball and without the ball by using the right analog stick, and those positions are all based on the roles that you apply to each player. Let's go through the players one by one. In goal, we have Mike Mainan on sweeper keeper. He has the plus role, which of course helps. You can see from the green area on the pitch, it basically means the keeper's gonna rush out a bit more than your average keeper would without this role applied. Have you ever been one-on-one with a goalkeeper, their keeper comes out and you just feel like you have no chance of scoring? Yeah, so have I. So this role is really going to help you to put off their attackers. That is the goalkeeper. Moving on to the fullbacks. Now you'll see Llorente and Mendy both have fullback and defend. I'm just going to ignore, for example, Mendy has the wing-back plus role. I don't want him to be bombing up the left-hand side, so I'm going to set him to where I want him to be on the pitch, which is at fullback and with the defensive focus. That basically means he's not gonna, it's basically on stay back. Similar to last year, you'd set the fullbacks to stay back while attacking. That is what the defensive focus is going to do for your fullback. So I do highly recommend that you do that on both fullbacks. If you want to be a bit, aggressive, even more aggressive, you can set it to balanced. I'm not a fan of that. If I want my fullbacks to get forward, I will trigger a run with them using L1 or LB and play a 1-2 or something like that. The two defenders, we've got them both on defender plus. Both of them have the plus roles, thank goodness. Rudiger and Saliba, amazing centre backs by the way. And of course we both have them on a defensive focus. Why do you want your centre back on a balanced focus? I don't know. I'd keep the two centre backs on defensive focus, and that's the defence. Moving on to the midfield now, and these two central midfielders, well, central defensive midfielders, we have them both on the holding role. You can see by the green area what sort of positions they're gonna cover. Thuram is the same, but on the other side, Appin has the plus role, Thuram has the plus role, both with a defensive focus. Again, I don't really want either of them moving too far out of position, and if I do want them to, I'll either run with the ball, I'll carry the ball with them, or I'll trigger a run by using L1 or LB or play a 1-2 or something like that. But yeah, they're basically gonna sit in front of your four-man defense. It's gonna be really compact there actually, those 6 players, and it's going to be really hard for your opponent to break them down. Moving on to the left hand side, we have DeMarco. We have him in the wide playmaker plus role. I sort of want him to occupy that left wing space, and because he has this plus role, I've set him on it. He is the attacking focus. I'm not too interested in defending. Of course, if he wants to get back and help out, that's completely fine. But that is the area that DeMarco is going to occupy. Moving on to Dembele, I actually like having the right-sided player as an inside forward. Cole Palmer, player of the month, is another example of a player that can do this. I think he has the plus roll or plus roll as well. But Dembele, a perfect example as well. I really like Dembele in game, by the way. He's on the balance focused. I guess you could change that to attack, but it doesn't change too much with the left and right midfielder. Now this is the most important role of them all really. This false 9 role means that Griezmann is going to drop back sometimes and sort of link up the play. I'm going to try and drop a clip in here of him doing that because I think it is super important. If you have both of the strikers on advanced forward, it can work, but having a player like Griezmann who has the false 9 plus role to drop back and sort of occupy the middle space a little bit more. Obviously it's not actually green there, but just in front of Apin Thuram, he does drop into there sometimes, he drifts out wide to the left sometimes, DeMarco comes inside, and it really links up the play. So instead of having a massive gap between your midfield and attack, Griezmann will sometimes drop into that, and then he'll be able to pass it to Thuram, Dembele, DeMarco. That is such an important role in this team. Moving on to Thuram, we have him on the advanced forward role. I think there's quite a few strikers with the advanced forward plus role. Of course, he's set to attack. Just going back to Griezmann, he has the build-up focus. That also comes with the false 9 role. But yeah, Thuram, I mean, a lot of people will have him. I think he's still a great option. Advanced forward plus role. I find that's one of the most common roles with strikers anyway. But yeah, they are all the roles for the players. So as you can see, without the ball, it's a pretty standard 4-4-2, but with the CDMs relatively close to the defense. It's so compact, it's really hard to break down. And then with the ball, the players bunch up a bit more and there's a lot of passing options. Griezmann drops in, you got DeMarco out left, Dembele out right, Thuram up front, Apin Thuram sitting in there. You can choose to run forward with whichever one you want. But yeah, it's just a really compact formation. Oh, top bins. What I'm going to do is soon I'm going to release 4-4-2 flat custom tactics, which I was using before this. I only used these tactics for the weekend league, 12 and 3. They work very well, but I do like the 4-4-2 flat as well, and we'll get onto them in the next video. So there we go, there's the code if you want to copy it, but I would advise that you go in and tinker with it yourself just so you understand how the custom tactics work this year. It's been your boy Rumix. I'll leave a similar video down there. Make sure you watch that. Take care.